Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with reviews on Go-Go Power Rangers number 19, Guardians of the Galaxy number 4, and Justice League number 22. So starting off with Go-Go, even though this came out last week, my LCS, they didn't get their shipments of Go-Go Power Rangers, so it came a week later, this week of recording this. So Go-Go Power Rangers number 19. Rita and her mother are fighting one another. Rita wants her power for the dragon coin, evident by the fact that her mother is wearing the dragon shield. But the main crux of this issue is the Rangers themselves trying to get over the argument that they had. So we still seeing this back and forth between Jason and Trini, but it's kind of affecting any potential of them being a couple. Then you have Billy and Zach. They're working together. They're very trusting of Alpha One, but they feel like Zordon's kind of weighing them down, and Alpha One's kind of feeding that kind of that thought to an extent, while Kimberly is dealing with her own issues with her family. So that is pretty much the majority of this issue, them kind of dealing with their own problems. So, you know, it's pretty simple. So story 3.5, not a lot is going on. I think it's kind of biding its time before that big finale, like the June's issue, I believe it is. I'm hoping I'm right. I think, yeah, June's issue, or either issue number 20, which is May's. It's going to be a very it's going to be a big issue. It's an oversized issue, concluding, as it says, concluding everything that Ryan Parrott has been building up to with Go-Go Power Rangers. So it's kind of biding its time, but I still enjoyed it for the most part. The art by Eleonora Collini and coloring by Roll Angulo. 4 out of 5, really good. Especially in these parts, the flashbacks of Rita and her mother running away from from Master Val's Tenga warriors, and especially in the part where, so yeah, the flashback parts, just any part where Rita and her mother are fighting, and especially here when Billy has like this Power Rangers super suit. I really like this design. I hope we somehow get more of these, and for the other Rangers as well. Like Zach says, like, hey, get me one as well. And Alpha One's like, yep, sure. And hopefully we'll see more of these suits. It's a cool design. Hopefully it's not just wasted for like this one issue. Cover 4 out of 5, but it's a simple, the art and coloring on it is good. Who did the cover again? Cover by Marcus Toe, coloring by Roll Angulo for the cover. Good art and coloring, but it's a simple cover of just Alpha One and Zordon. But it was an okay to good issue regardless. So on to Guardians of the Galaxy number 4. So the final gauntlet, part 4 of 6, written by Donny Cates, art by Jeff Shaw, coloring by David Curiel. So they arrive on Half-World, excuse me, and find Gamora, who attacks them. So they get into a brief skirmish before Groot is able to defuse the situation. So they've succeeded. They're able to get to Gamora before the Dark Guardians do. And after having a kind of a tense reunion with Quill, Nova arrives. Nova arrives, and the Dark Guardians attack. So we finally get this fight between the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Dark Guardians of the Galaxy. Still not sold in that name. They're not really supposed to be like evil or dark. They're just have to take necessary sacrifices for the sake of the universe. And Gamora reveals that the whole Thanos' will might actually be fake, which I can kind of see and agree with. It'd be something like Thanos would do, is just like, what if I just left a will saying that somebody they knew has my consciousness, and they all just decide to fight one another because of it, pretty much to the point where they just kill each other. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? You know, that'd be a Thanos thing to do. So the Guardians of Dark and the Dark Guardians fight, and it ends with a casualty between their fight. So story, 4 out of 5. Finally, we're progressing through the plot, although kind of too little too late, as this is the 4th issue. This should have been like issue number 3, to be honest. But we're finally getting to the plot. We're finally getting to Gamora. Gamora is here. The Guardians have acquired her, and got the fight between the Guardians and the Dark Guardians, them finally coming into a conflict. So finally the plot is progressing. That's all I really needed. It's just, it felt like, where was the plot going? Like, why is it like 3 issues in and the plot didn't go anywhere after issue number 1? So finally, just past the halfway line, we finally got some plot progression to the story, to this whole story. So the art by Jeff Shaw and the coloring by Curiel. 4 out of 5. I liked it. Some pretty good art. Definitely at its best here. So for the majority of just the fight between the Guardians and the Dark Guardians, where the art and the coloring was at its best. And the cover by David Marquez and Dean White. 4 out of 5. It's a simple, although to be fair, why are you still here? You are not on this team anymore, Cosmic Ghost Rider. But I like the art and the coloring on it. So yeah, 4 out of 5. So good issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. So on to Justice League number 22, another of the Legion of Doom tie-ins, the origin of the multiverse revealed. So Mr. Mixelplix has gone berserk, and who is here to save the day? Not the Justice League, the Legion of Doom. They've brought their own fifth dimensional imp to fight them, and I kind of guessed who it was. It's Batmite. Batmite has been brought to fight on, but forget that story. We need to learn the history of the true origin of the multiverse regarding Perpetua and her sons, the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor, and the World Forgers. So we get all of this exposition about their history. They were created, given certain jobs by their mother, and kind of get a little bit of an origin to Barbatos. Apparently he's the World Forger's pet. As the World Forger says, I forge each possibility, though not all rise. I've created a pet of sorts to consume those which fall back, decayed. Say hello, Barbatos. Hiss. Okay, it kind of works with the whole dark multiverse, but, really? Okay, sure. But, after the Monitor witnesses, a race of warriors that Perpetua has created on Earth, he and his brothers decide she's going against the whole order of each multiverse and all that. She should have her role should have ended. She should have moved on, but she hasn't, and she's got ulterior motives that aren't going to be good for the multiverse. And so the three brothers require help, but she confronts them, sends their warriors to attack before she is confronted herself by one of the judges of the Source. That's who they were calling for, leading to her being in prison. So in short, this issue is just, the true origin the origin of the multiverse reveal, particularly the origin of Perpetua, how she ended up being trapped, betrayed by her sons. So story 4 out of 5. We're actually getting more and more explanations about Perpetua, the so-called true history of the multiverse, etc., etc., etc. Although I will say it kind of just diverges away from this whole 6-dimension plot. I know the Legion of Doom stuff is supposed to be its own kind of thing. Apart from the one that was in Drowned Earth, it's kind of separate to the overall story arc. The main story arc featuring the Justice League. So I get that, but it did feel like it just kind of unnecessarily diverged away from 6-dimension story to explain Perpetua's history. Although I feel like they kind of had to do it because I believe next month is for Free Comic Book Day is the Year of the Villains, which the whole big thing setting up with Legion of Doom, Perpetua, the DC villains, etc., all of that. So maybe that's why we had to get Perpetua's history, because they're obviously going to use Year of the Villains to set up the whole Justice Doom fight. So 4 out of 5. Didn't like that it diverged away, but I kind of understand why they had to, in a way. The art by this was written by James Tynion as always, for Justice the Legion of Doom stories, the issues. I mean, art and coloring and cover by Francis Manipool. 4 out of 5 for the interiors. Not bad. Usually, sometimes Manipool's art can be a bit off sometimes, but I feel like with Justice League, he at least brings his A games, at least with the interiors, and he definitely brought it here. Cover, 4 out of 5 as well. It was also by Manipool. Not bad. Some of the faces are still a bit off, so he brought his A game with the interiors, but he brought his B plus with the faces on the cover. Lex is Lex seems slightly older than usual, and I don't know, Cheetah's face looks a bit off. Grodd's, maybe, but not that too much of a problem. So, good issue in the end. So that is all for those 3. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.